big. That's right. Fail big. You only live once, so do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test, was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. So don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. Life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline and consistency every day, not just on Tuesday and miss a few days. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan every day. You've heard the saying, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. Hard work works.
Top of the afternoon, or top of the evening, top of the Taco Tuesday evening. It's your boy B Jizzle. We are live back in the lab, and I got my girl KELZ with the training camp INTELZ. How we doing this Taco Tuesday evening, KELZ?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Yeah. I told KELZ back in the back room, she's logged in, and I was like, you don't sound too excited that football is back. And with that being said, we're going to have to kick it off. We're going to get it popping here right now. Let's go. We're live on 3 platforms. I need y'all to tap in. Did y'all hear what Tyler Smith had to say? Let's just tap in and let's see.
What are your expectations for this football team?
Super Bowl champions. That's always the expectation. So, yeah.
You think that's a realistic goal?
I think it is a realistic goal because we can win the Super Bowl. Like, why not? Why can't we win? Do you think it's unrealistic?
You think the roster is in place to do that?
I think it is in place to do that. Yes, sir.
What are your expectations?
Do you think it's realistic? He says, do you not think it's realistic? I love the way Tyler Smith, that, by the way, that was before training camp even kicked off. That was when the Cowboys touched down at camp yesterday. I had to go and get that clip. Y'all know it's our year until it's not, but welcome to the show. I got my girl KELZ with the INTELZ here today. We're going to be recapping the first day, or a little bit thereof, of practice. And the good news is Micah Parsons was there, and he had his helmet on, KELZ. No hold in? Or is this just the beginning? Because there was some shots fired yesterday by Jerry. And also, there were some questions asked by the media today, specifically to Trayvon and to Micah. So, what's your thoughts on on the Lion being at camp as a participant today?
I mean, he showed up, but it was kind of a hold-in. And we're going to get a little bit into that later.
What? Not KELZ saying the H-I word, the hold-in word. I thought a little bit of that too, because I'm thinking Micah in this interview. We gonna jam y'all up with some interviews here before we get into the content. Y'all got to listen to what Micah and Trayvon had to say. Now, this is a pretty lengthy clip, so get your feet ready, get your drink ready, get comfortable here. We are talking about what's going down at training camp, and this is about Micah and his contract, and Trayvon Diggs talking about being docked for $500,000. Y'all listen in.
They want me to be here at the end of the day. Does this help you being out here, being here for your teammates? You think this helped get the contract done?
Nah, I think they got their own timeline of when they want to get things done. At any given time, they can get things done, so I don't think that helps. I just think I'm doing this for myself and my teammates. Like I said, this isn't for Jerry. This isn't for Steven. This is for guys like Trey. This is to help guys like Donovan, Sam, guys who I know I can get better just by being here and being there for them.
Mike, are you getting frustrated?
No, I'm not. You know what I mean? I've been pretty successful over my course of these last couple of years. So, I'm going to just let God do his work.
When do you anticipate doing more than what you've done today?
When do you anticipate doing more in the event today?
Whenever my body feels at its best.
So you're not technically holding in. You're going to do some. You're going to participate fully in camp at some point.
Yeah, whenever my body is fully operating the way that we need it to, and things like that.
You're not worried about injury risks. You're not worried about injury risks.
Oh, let's just stop it right there before we get into the trade. What is Micah talking about? His back is injured or something like that, KELZ. What's the intel on this? Is Micah just talking out the side of his neck? What's going on here at camp?
Well, he showed up. Hold on, let me go to what page did I write that?
Because to me, it sounds like Micah's alluding to some kind of back injury. Because what you're saying, he was there, but was he really there? Especially after Jerry dropped them bombs yesterday in that press conference.
Yeah, he was there, but he wasn't there. So let me go into my notes. I have like 3 or 4 pages worth.
Let me hear from y'all down in the comments below. Micah Parsons, what is he talking about? This seems to be new information, or is it just smoke to carry us over this first week? Because KELZ shared with us yesterday that the first padded practice is this Sunday. And I'm curious because I seen Micah come out the tunnel today in camp with his helmet on. And I was like, oh, wait, is that a signal that he's there? And then he's there, but he's not. And now he's talking about this back injury. I don't know.
Well, I do know some point of last season when he came back, he did have like some back tightness. I do remember that.
Yeah,
so
Dylan's tapping in says.
So is he talking about that?
I don't know. I ain't heard no. I thought Micah was good to go. That's what I thought. He's been running around doing all these workouts and everything. Dylan says definitely new to me. I haven't heard nothing about starting with an injury. Let's go ahead and let's get through the rest of this video and hear what he has to say along with Trayvon Diggs.
Contract-wise, if you go out here and do something without having an extension.
If that's the case, I wouldn't be here right now. You know what I mean? I care, like I said, I care about my teammates. They need to see me out here putting in the work. Not at home. I did that for the last 4 or 5 months. So they need to see me out here with H, Britt, whatever I need to do to make sure I'm at 100%. So that way week 1 I can play.
Why are you not at your best right now? Why is your body not at your best right now?
Just the injury that I just feel like is bothering me. Something that I feel like is going to hold me back. So I just need to rehab.
What is he talking about? Injury and rehab? Have I missed something? Have I been asleep this whole offseason, KELZ? I'm pulling out what little hair got a gray on top of my head. And Micah and this injury.
Only thing I remember is he got that, was it a grade 2 or grade 3 ankle injury, high ankle injury, at that awful MetLife field that likes to take players out.
Yeah, it caused him to miss, I don't know, 5. No, Jerry said 6 games, but I think it was only 4, right?
I thought it was 6. I don't know.
Jerry did say it was 6, but I think the experts came timing in and said it was only 4. But going back to is he still talking about this ankle injury? How is this? I'm not drinking this.
I don't think it's the ankle injury. I do remember some point of, I have to go back and look at the last season's injury reports when he came back. I do remember
I don't know. Micah seemed like he blowing smoke, and I don't know. Ryan says, so is this the holdup? Maybe why the contract hasn't got done? Because Jerry said him and his David Mugoleta haven't talked, even at the discretion of or the request of Micah, telling his agent to call Jerry. I mean, this plot is thickening.
I do remember some point of last season it was in the injury report where he had tightness in his back.
I think that's what he's talking about. He was talking about his back there a little bit. Let's get back to this video and let's see what else he has to say along with Trayvon. This is a long video, so I wanted to break it up a little bit.
He has your back tighten up a little bit. Is it the same thing there?
Yeah, back tightness.
Mike, have you talked to anybody in the league? Any other
Heavy squats.
Any other players in the league that you reached out to match similar situation that have offered you some advice throughout all this?
No, everyone, like I said, everyone got a different story. There's some teams where guys like Max Reed's like, man, they knew I was coming up and they just want to take care of him. And I just say it must be nice, you know what I mean?
Is it hard to be patient to try to get a deal?
Oh, no, patience is a virtue. I think it's key to patience. I think life is all about patience. Knowing when it's your turn, when it's your opportunity, you maximize it.
You always help him when he's doing the rehab. Are you helping him with the contract? Because you got yours well?
Yeah, of course. Tell him to stay patient. It's coming. He's the best player in the NFL. Micah, Coach
knowing that
Shotty's talked a lot about your leadership. What does the next stage of leadership look like for you?
For me, I think this was the first step. Just showing people I want to be here, body language, getting engaged with the guys, making sure everyone's feeling all right. And then obviously the next step, we're on the field, showing them how it looks like when it's done, showing what it's like to play at a really high level. And we're going to get there. We're going to keep taking advantage. This offseason is my turn. This is my turn to lead this defense, and I plan on taking full advantage of that.
is that part of you that knows that whenever you get it done, you will be the highest paid non-quarterback?
Yeah, I feel like I'm the best at what I do. You can argue whoever, but stats, numbers don't lie. The consistency's there, and the availability's there.
Wait a minute. Now he's talking availability. Now let's go ahead and we'll drop this video and we'll go ahead and we'll get into the meat of things here. But I wanted to kick that off not only with Tyler Smith. I love his mentality coming in, reporting to camp, but this news with Micah in this back, I don't know. This sounds like, because did you see when Micah and Trayvon was in that video and they said, yeah, heavy squats, and they were looking at each other? I don't know if it's more to the story, KELZ, but tell me what you got going, bubbling from training camp, because I know you're excited to be back on the JO.
Yeah.
How's everything going on your end? What are you hearing on your end that everybody needs to know right now about training camp?
Okay, so today started the Brian Schottenheimer era. The Cowboys did they held tryouts and workouts to start the 2025 camp with 4 players. William Bradley King, defensive end from Baylor, Cameron Klein, defensive end from South Dakota, James Houston, defensive end from Jackson State, and Jesse Lukita, linebacker from Penn State. Lukita is an ex-teammate of Micah Parsons for the Lions.
That's the guy we just signed. They just announced that they signed today, right?
No. Houston played under Deion Sanders at Jackson State. Bradley King is a former late round pick of the Commanders. The one that they signed out of the 4 is defensive end James Houston. He previously spent time with the Detroit Lions, up and had 8 sacks during his rookie season in 2022, and in 2023 he missed the entire season due to an ankle injury. Then he was cut in season 2024. The Cowboys, to make room for that, the Cowboys cut Luigi Villain.
So this guy Houston, is he a defensive end or a linebacker? This says pass.
Defensive end.
Defensive end. Interesting. Defensive end. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Shotty seems ready for the first training camp. He said this is going to be a physical ass camp. We got a shit ton of football to play before we make any decisions.
One of the things that I heard today while you talked about opening up on Schottenheimer, our first Schottenheimer experience at camp here. Everybody is saying everywhere, you can tell that this is a Schottenheimer camp because the vibe is different in Frisco currently.
Yeah.
Like, players are excited. The music is going. If you see all of the clips, there's a gazillion clips from everybody today out at training camp, all the reporters, all your favorite bloggers, everybody out there. It didn't look like that many fans were there, however, but nonetheless, yeah, everybody's there today filming, and we got some clips here to show too as well, but just wanted to make sure everybody was up to date. I think it's interesting. We went and signed another pass rusher. Why? Well, if you take a look at our ESPN depth chart or the ESPN depth chart, it looks like he may be a camp body because it seems like we're pretty fat at defensive end. You got Dante Fowler, Donovan Izaraku, your guy, our rookie that just got his deal done. Thanks to you sharing that news. Peyton Turner, then James Houston is number 4. So I don't know. Maybe he is a camp body. I don't know. But it sure is interesting with what's going on with our guy, Micah Parsons.
Yep. And let's see. Shotty also said that Sam Williams did not miss a day of rehab and that they'll be smart with his and John Stevens Jr. return to the field training camp. Shotty also said that he has zero doubts that Jake Ferguson's production will return to similar levels as his 2023 season. He also mentioned that Fergie is another player that has dropped weight. Shotty said that he had good conversation with Parsons and he will participate in today's practice of training camp.
Keyword
Um,
today's.
yeah. Let's see what else. So this is a two-part thing. Um, Shotty said that Mozzie Smith is lighter and he's still on one tech, but the Cowboys want the flexibility to be able to move him around. He knows that the ability to get vertical and get out of the stack is really, really important. Da, da, da. So Shotty said that Parsons will participate with the Cowboys in practice. Still unclear on what that participation fully looks like, but it sounds like Shotty and Parsons discussed the plan. He did take to the field during training camp. QB1 Prescott he got a loud um, ovation as the team takes the field with him at training camp. Flus is back for the first time at Cowboys training camp. This time, of course, as the DC, he was kind of disappointed. He didn't get a smoke machine for his entrance.
Yeah, can we go from rank 28 to maybe top 5, and I'll go give him a smoke screen personally.
So the newest receiver tandem, Lamb and Pickens, they entered and took the field together. Defensive end Marshawn Leedon dropped off in the flat to get an interception off of QB1 Prescott and
Dak Prescott throwing pick sixes in training camp to Marshawn Nealon. You know, the favorite network that's getting ready to eat that up. I see that coming already. I didn't like to see that either, but good on Marshawn Nealon, baby. Took it to the house.
Yeah, but I also wanted to see something from Nealon. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say, I mean, Shotty's been saying Nealon looks good. He's slim. You know, he's looking good out there. And evidently, I mean, if we can get some pick sixes from a defensive end like Marshawn Nealon, we could win some games.
Yeah. And, of course, the Cowboys went ballistic. Well, the defense went ballistic off of the pick. QB Joe Milton threw a rocket to wide receiver Jonathan Mingo. The first scuffle of camp was quickly broken up before anything notable happened. It was between tight end Brevin Spanford and rookie defensive end Donovan Ezaraku. Yeah.
Spanford and Ezaraku getting into it. Well, let me see. That's a defensive end. Oh, he must have been. Ezzy must have got him off the edge. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah. Running back Javonte Williams, he worked with the ones. QB Joe Milton stepped up in the pocket and finding wide receiver Tyler Neville for a touchdown down in the downfield. Running back. So I have two running back parts on this one. Running back Jaden Blue got some burn with the twos today for the first day of training camp. And running back Phil Martha had his first carry as a Dallas Cowboy. QB Joe Milton play action 40-yard pass to Jalen Brooks, but it was out of bounds. Defensive end Peyton Turner had his first training camp with the team. Parsons did not participate in team drills.
What?
But he was seen mentoring rookie Donovan Ezaraku.
You see, now I got a bone to pick, not with you. I got a bone to pick with how the narrative is being played now versus holding out versus holding in. Everybody remembers last season, CD clearly had to hold out. Nobody was worried about the fines, but that was a different situation. But now we're hearing it's okay to be at camp without a helmet and you can still be a leader without participating, but you're saying not a full participant. And then we hear Micah Parsons talking about back pain. I'm not feeling too, I'm not getting the butterflies here about what's going on with camp. I don't know. Maybe I could be looking into things here, but when Jerry has taught us how to read the tea leaves here, I'm not liking what the tea leaves are showing us, KELZ.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did the same thing at rookie mini at the mini camp a few weeks ago.
Yeah, he was there. He told us he was going to be there. He told us he was going to be at camp. Yeah, 100%. I get that. We'll circle back around to Micah Parsons and this hold in talk in here in just a second. Let's hear what George Pickens had to say. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, Mario Brothers?
Do you feel like you and CeeDee can be one of the top wide receiver duos in the NFL?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Why?
Just different type of styles of play. Like a lot of people over the years got different type of styles of play, but CD's a certain type of guy, then I'm a certain type of guy. So when you mesh that together, it's like Mario Bros. You see what I mean? So like we definitely could do something special.
Now, see, I'm not a big Mario Bros fan, but that sounds like it might be pretty lit. Are you a Mario Bros fan? You play Mario Kart or anything like that, KELZ?
My thing was Duck Hunt.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you too. I'm from that era with the duck hunt, boom, shooting the ducks. Yeah, bird brain season coming Thursday Night Football. But in talks about George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb talking about Mario Brothers, where are all my Mario Brother fans? And I need y'all to tap in and let us know what exactly is George Pickens alluding to. Because if you're not a Mario Brothers fan, it does sound kind of interesting. But is that really essentially a good thing? Y'all let us know down there in the comments below. I was happy to hear George Pickens. I listened to the whole George Pickens interview today. I was all on the Dallas Cowboys stalking their YouTube here today, looking for those clips. And I was just amazed that, Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs, they had them both sitting out there. And it was almost like go to the front of the class and answer all the teachers' questions about leadership. Playing there without a contract. Injuries. Now we're talking about injuries. Nobody was talking about these injuries last season, KELZ, when it came to Dak's contract. Why weren't they talking about Dak potentially getting injured in camp on that deal when now they're talking about it with Micah?
Well, the thing is, Micah's still under contract.
Jerry did allude to that too as well. He said that Dak Prescott was the highest paid player and had him missed him for 2/3 of the season last year. Jerry's pushing back. How are you liking how Jerry came out with guns blazing yesterday? Or is this a new Jerry, or is this the same Jerry, but now he's applying pressure? It seems like he's all in the way he's talking now.
I mean, some parts of it was true with what Jerry has said. And the thing is, it's always been like this with the Cowboys. When we don't sign a player, or we wait to the last minute to sign a player, and the player bets on himself when it's time for a contract year, two things can happen. He can have a ball out year with no injuries, or an injury is bound to happen. Then you also have, when you sign a contract, you could be good for like 2/3 of a season, then an injury appears.
Dak Prescott.
And it happened twice with Dak Prescott.
I understand what Jerry's saying, but I remember all the way back in March, and we'll get back to this in just a second because I want to cut to a clip on our guy, or your guy, Kevontae Turpin. But I remember back in March distinctly talking, I think Jerry said there was a handshake deal with Micah or something to that, but we'll get back to that in a minute. How about Kevontae Turpin out of the backfield? Does this spell our running back one situation? Y'all tap in and look at Kevontae coming out of the backfield. Woo-wee! Kevontae Turpin coming out of the backfield. Hunter Lipke at tight end. Deuce Vaughn at wide receiver. You said this here explicitly that this Schottenheimer offense is not going to look like any offense we had before. And apparently, we're not going to be utilizing the fullback position in this Schotty, whatever kind of offense it's going to be. Is that correct?
Right.
So is that why we're seeing Hunter at tight end and things of that nature? You know, players playing around out of their positions, so to speak, like Cavante coming out of
the
the
only one
backfield?
that is really not playing out of their position is Deuce Vaughn, because he has familiarity with a slot, as you know, as a slot receiver. So he can play both running back and he can receive in the slot.
Okay. Because apparently this running back situation we got going on, it's a moving target too as well. But you were saying that Jaden Blue here recently, I remember you on the show tapping in yesterday, shared that Jaden Blue was getting burned not only with the ones and the twos. You said he got some burn with the twos today. But does that look good for Jaden Blue? Because there was some smear campaign out on him this week from folks talking about his work ethic. And I think that was narrowed down to the college work ethic, not so much the Cowboys or the NFL work ethic. But nonetheless, folks were taking shots at our guy, Jaden Blue. I mean, are you hearing anything like that coming out of the Star? Any derogatory slants towards
No.
Jaden Blue or anything like that on what people are saying outside of the Star?
No, I'm not even entertaining, though, you know, that whole whatever it was with Jaden Blue, because he took whatever, you know, the reps and everything during the rookie mini camp, the OTAs, and and the mini camp back in June.
Mm-hmm.
My only issue with him was the drop balls during college.
Yeah. That's already been known activity. They said he does have a tendency to drop the ball or drop the baby, so to speak. But a lot of folks are coining this guy. He's going to be the RB1, and I don't know. I just can't see it with all of the
RB1. I think honestly, I could see Jaden Blue being almost like Cavante Turpin, like a 5. And normally the 5s will work with the starting lineup and special teams.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate everybody tapping in. We're all streaming live on 3 platforms. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube right now. If you got questions, comments, or concerns about anything you've seen on or off social media today, you want to get your questions answered here, I've got my expert KELZ with the INTELZ sharing all of the intel from training camp here today. We see there's footage everywhere. We see there's everybody talking about it, but you're getting it exclusively here from Insider with my girl KELZ in the INTELZ. I mean, she was the one that told us way much back that Jerry was trying to take, you know, the Cowboys to Thursday Night Football. And I was like, what? I don't know about all of that. So what else you got coming in from training camp, KELZ? Any other big news or things that we should be paying attention to?
So here's the thing with Mozzie. He is right about 300 pounds. So yes, he is indeed lighter. The Cowboys plan to use him not only as a 1/0 tech, but also a 3 tech. Smith is doing a lot of learning from Solomon Thomas. So Shotty said that LB Maris Leofau is a very, very good pass rusher, has great strength and great length. He's kind of a player that shows up more when the pads come on because of how he plays. So let me segue this. Maris Leofau, he plays a lot of base formation as a linebacker. Okay, so with Demo being unavailable until at least mid-season, the Cowboys will count heavily on their other talented young LB to help stabilize the group. QB Joe Milton stimulated every play behind QB1 as he gets more accustomed to the offense. Second year offensive line Nate Thomas took time at left tackle with the number 2 offense. He can also play guard. He was somebody that caught Shotty's eye during the spring OTAs. Hold on. Where are we at? Okay. After tight end Brevin Spanford had a pass ripped out of his hands by LB Maris Leofow, the entire tight end group did push-ups as punishment, including the position coach London Wells.
Oh, the coach dropping to give him 52?
Yep.
That's new.
CB Trayvon Diggs, he did not expect for the Cowboys to enforce the de-escalator clause. Shoddy said that Sam Williams was removed from team drills after he hit running back Phil Moffer hard and blew up tight end Tyler Neville on a block in the back-to-back back-to-back plays.
I appreciate those 100 stars, Sterling. Hey, I got Big Sam is back, man. Let us know in the comments down below. I got my money on Big Sam coming back as the comeback player of the year. Can we say healthy? I'm just praying for good health on our Cowboys this season, because if we're healthy, we can compete. But when you got 18 and 19 folks on your injury reserve or your injured list, it's kind of hard to do that. But I'm excited about Big Sam. So drop down there in the comments and let us know. That's cool. So the position coach and the tight ends doing push-ups.
Yep.
For accountability.
Yep.
That's something a little new in training camp. I don't think I've ever remember hearing about anything. I know we heard about our guy GP dropping down with CD on a drop miss pass in OTAs. I thought that was cute. It looks like that same kind of behavior amongst the tight end group now.
Yeah. Ryan West, we will not know who will be wide receiver 3 probably until the 53-man roster has been solidified.
Yeah, we're not going to get any updates on that. I mean, we already know 1 and 2 is GP and CD. And if you've seen that video that we just shared here, that clip of him being interviewed today at training camp, potential Mario Brothers in line. And so if you're a Mario Brothers fan, let us know down there below. What does Mario and Luigi mean together on this Dallas Cowboys squad? What else you got cooking in the pot over there from training camp, KELZ?
That is it. That's all the notes that I have.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about this Micah Parsons hold-in business that you were kind of alluding to. I mean, we see padded practice coming up. Now, I'm just saying, we're going to draw the line in the sand. First padded practice is the 27th. That's this Sunday. Do you think Micah Parsons is going to be fully padded practicing on Sunday?
I mean, you have to wear your pads because that's mandatory throughout.
Well, if he's working on his back and stretching out and doing that type of stuff, working the bands with Britt, right?
He is not on no injury report, and he's not on a PUP list.
But who is on the PUP list? We know Trayvon Diggs is starting out on the PUP list. What about Deron Bland? How's his status looking? Is he back? I think
he's good.
I think I seen him on a play come from behind and punch out the ball from George Pickens on a play today that caused the fumble. That's good news, I guess. And what about Siobhan Revel? I think it's been reported he's on some non-football injury.
Yeah, he's on a non-football. List. Yeah, because he didn't get.
What's the difference between the injured or the PUP list and this NFI list or whatever? That's the first time I've heard of that.
Well, the PUP list is because of the NFLPA and the CBA policy rules. The PUP is basically set up by the league where it has to be submitted in. So these are players that have been injured, but they're unable to physically perform.
Okay.
So they're very limited of what they can do. As far as Savone case, I think he's under the non-related football list because he did not get hurt as a Cowboys player.
Is that right? Let's go take a look at what is that. AI can't find us. Oh, there it goes. Non-football injury. We got it up on our. There we go. Yeah, AI going to work. Look at that. The non-football injury list in the NFL is designation for players who are unable to practice or play due to injuries or illnesses sustained outside team activities. Thank you very much, KELZ, hitting it on the head. This is different from the PUP, physically unable to perform list, which is football-related injuries. And let's go back to that PUP. So the big difference is on the PUP and the NFI is one's on the team you're on and one's on the other team, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm glad we got that cleared up here today. We want to make sure we try to educate everybody tapping in every week as we go over the PUP list. Now, the PUP compared to the NFI, just like Kale said, now you had to be injured on that team. It's a roster designation for players who are injured and unable to participate in football-related activities. So we know Trayvon was there. We know everybody was there. It's good. We don't have anybody holding out, correct? Everybody reported to camp today, right?
Yeah. But as far as with Micah, I'm so, like I told you, I'm so over.
I know, but we're still in this movie. We still got to pop our popcorn. Micah's talking about Micah's popping. He's popping his back. He's talking about doing heavy squats, laughing with Diggs on the camera. I don't know if I'm really buying or drinking that Kool-Aid about Micah and his injury.
All I know is what happened last season. But like I said, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going down that rabbit hole.
Well, get ready because, I'm going to keep asking you here. Ryan says, any more news on Demo in terms of camp? Where is he starting out? He's not on the PUP list, right? He's not on the NFI list or anything like that. List. Oh, he's on the PUP? Okay. So he's on the PUP. So we got Trayvon, we got Namarvion, Overshown on the PUP, and I think one more too.
And I already mentioned not too long ago that, and I just reiterated it, that he won't be available to us until mid-season.
Thank you. Sarah says, I'm tired of Kool-Aid and popcorn, man. Who you telling? Can they at least change the flavors? Can we get a little bit more extra butter on the popcorn? I'm telling you, I'm putting the line in the sand right now, y'all. I don't think we're going to see Micah participate on Sunday. I'm not liking how camp kicked off today, even though he came out with his helmet, even though he was a participant, and Shotty did say he would participate in today's practice. You got to catch these key words, y'all.
But he didn't.
I don't know. Yeah, he did. He said he would be available in today's practice. That's what Shotty said on the interview.
Yeah, he was available. He was there, but he did not participate in team drills.
But will he be available on fully pad practice? That's going to be
probably not
what I'm looking at.
I'm not putting no faith in that. So
got you. Sterling says, KELZ, do they go through a physical before camp? All players, do they have to go through a physical before camp? Or is that only done during contract signing times?
No, everyone goes through a physical.
So it's the beginning of what? During mini camps, OTAs? Just to answer Sterling's question specifically there?
They do one in OTAs. They do one in mini camp. And depending as far as with training camp, depending on the player.
I'm telling you, because depending on when the last time Micah had a physical done and there was no report or no back, I'm just saying. But nonetheless, I'm happy that Cowboys football is back. Day one is in the books today.
But that whole back tightness, when I want to say that was on week, what was that?
But we didn't hear anything about it in OTAs on why he weren't participating.
No, he wasn't there for OTAs.
Yeah, he was. Michael Parsons was at OTAs.
He was there for mini camp. OTAs, he was celebrating his birthday.
So overseas. Wait a minute. Michael Parsons was at OTAs. I thought he came and checked in and said, "Hey, I'm here."
He was at mini camp. He showed up the last day of OTAs.
But he did show up for OTAs.
When he came back into town, but he wasn't there. He was in street clothes. He wasn't there. And people got to remember, OTAs that happen in May, that's voluntary. You don't have to be there.
That is a fact. But he did say he would be there, and he was there, and he did say he'd be at camp, and he is here.
And during the week of OTAs, he was in Europe for his birthday. His birthday is in May. So he spent weeks in Europe.
Well, all I know is folks are going to be coming for our guy Mike about being in Europe and not being at OTAs at this physical or whatever.
All right, on this part, this is me, okay? if I was Micah and you're coming for me because I wasn't in OTAs in May, I would flip the bird because one, I'm on my time.
Okay. But there's no report of this back soreness or anything anywhere. And now
The
he's day
only
one camp
report,
talking about it at camp when he wasn't a full participant today, though.
the only
It's things that make
report,
you go.
the only report about back tightness was from the end part, the fourth quarter of the 2024 season. And he was only on there for 2 practice reports with back tightness, but he was still a full participant and he still showed up on game day. And that was after that grade 2 or grade 3 high sprain ankle injury that he suffered. But that was later in the season.
All I know is it's a moving target. I'm just glad that all of our Cowboys are at camp. Y'all know it wouldn't be a camp if we didn't have any kind of drama. We had contract drama last year. We're getting into a little bit of contract drama this year. JT Watt even the media was trying to allude to JT Watt and his statements trying to get Micah. Y'all got to go check out all those clips. I'm just saying, if you start to read the tea leaves, some of this seems a little questionable. Now, all this shit goes away and Micah comes in as a full participant, a full padded practice on Sunday, and he's knocking folks on their ass. Yeah, that's a different story. I'm going to shut up. But until then, I don't know. But, if he hadn't said anything about this back soreness stuff today, it just seems like it might be a little bit of smoke. Like Jerry and Micah are playing this game of chess now with the media. You know what I mean? Because remember, Jerry did have that conversation at mandatory minicamp with Micah for like 30 minutes, and nobody really knows what was said during that. So I don't know. Just news to talk about. Other than that, the Cowboys are back. What storylines are you looking most closely to during training camp this season, KELZ?
I know everyone is looking at as far as wide receiver, running back, but that's not where my focus is. My focus is on 2 things. The offensive line, because we got to keep that clean. He was not clean during the last couple of seasons because the offensive line has collapsed on Dak.
You said the offensive line.
Yeah, the offensive line has collapsed twice in 2 seasons on Dak. We have to keep him clean. And like I said, his bread and butter is on play action. So in order for that to happen, that offensive line has to be tight and keep him clean, whether he is going to be mobile or in the pocket. And that's with whoever our quarterback is.
This is mainly just to prevent Dak from going down and getting sacked and possibly injured or something like that.
Or any quarterback.
Yeah. Keeping the pocket clean.
Right. Yeah. Then my other focus is going to be on that secondary room with the cornerbacks, because our cornerback depth chart is basically depleted. The only players that is basically active and ready to go is DaRon Bland, Izzy. I'm missing somebody.
You got DaRon Bland, strong safety Donovan Wilson,
and Carson, and Kalen Carson.
What about Malik Hooker and Izzy?
Izzy is kind of a hybrid. He's mainly a strong safety, but they have been using him in a slot cornerback position.
Right.
And they started doing that in OTAs and in the mini training camp.
Right. Yeah, it looks like that left cornerback behind DaRon Bland, it's pretty like ghost town. Savon, Kalen, and then Josh Butler, I think, who was recently placed on the PUP list also, right?
Right. And then they also have been using Wanye Thomas in cornerback situations.
Your guy, Wanye.
Yeah.
Ryan says, this team is lacking leadership, discipline, and help last year. That and not being real physical. If they can address those things, why not us? That's what I'm saying. The culture seems to be leaning in the right direction. If you got tight end coaches doing push-ups with tight end units for whatever the missed assignment was or whatnot, it seems like a new level of accountability. But, I'm still not too excited until we get these pads on And I'm excited. I'm going to be at training camp August 4th and August 5th to get my eyes on this because I'm going to get a chance to look at the Cowboys scrimmage the Rams on the 5th. And I don't know. Do you think Dak Prescott is going to get any reps in that scrimmage? KELZ?
I mean, the last times we had the joint practices, he got in. So I don't see why not.
Yeah. And then how much do you think you may see him participating in some of these preseason games? Because, you know, with him going down with that injury last season.
He's definitely not going to be. So this is what people really got to realize about the first, now it's 3. During the first 2 preseason games. That is the interview audition period for the 2s, the 3s, and the 4s.
Are you going to get this job or no? Are you going to get this check or not?
Yeah, are you going to get this check or no?
Yeah.
Now, the 3rd, the last preseason game, that can also serve as a dress rehearsal, and you can see what your starting line is going to look like. Because sometimes around that last preseason game, they know who's going to be on that 53-man roster.
With that being said,
that's throughout the league.
Yeah, and with that being said, I'd love for us to be able to get together here on BDG to break down a 53-man roster. When would you say, based off your technical experience with the 53-man rosters, and if they're going to get this check or not, when is the best time we can anticipate to say, hey, this looks like the projected 53-man roster here with everybody? We can begin to go through some of these units during some of these, like the running backs, the wide receivers, the cornerbacks, the defensive ends, like what you were talking about. When do you think is the optimal time where we can come out and say, hey, we're going to have BDG's projected 53-man roster by this day?
So the 53-man roster has to be submitted to the league on, hold on, let me pull it up.
Yeah, Mike Rock says Dak needs to take 3rd preseason game. Yeah, I mean, the rust between CD and Dak last year with CD not being in camp was bad enough. I don't think we went until week 5. Dak finally passed a wide receiver a touchdown, but we're going to have to get some kind, because we got a lot of new pieces, especially with George Pickens, you know, our running back situation.
Yeah.
You know.
So the 53-man roster has to be submitted to the league office on Tuesday, August 26th, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay. And so would you say maybe the weekend before the 26th, we can probably maybe get us a makeshift 53-man roster here we can go through with everybody so everybody can take a look at the depth at each of the units and break it down like that?
The last game is on the 22nd.
Awesome.
The last preseason game is the 22nd.
Okay. Good deal. Well, I appreciate you taking time out today on the East Coast. I know it's a little late over there. It's almost close to what? It's a little after midnight, no? 9:45.
Yeah, it's 9:45.
Yeah. And anything you're looking forward to this between now and this first padded practice? Is there anything big coming up? Maybe we need to get together back here and share with the folks over this next few days before this padded practice on Sunday, because I'd love to get together back with you on Sunday to recap that first day of padded practice.
The only thing I'm looking forward to is and I sent that to you earlier. The NFL.
Yeah, I pulled that up. The
NFL Network will be having. Oh shoot, where is that? Oh, it's right here. So on Saturday, the 26th, the NFL Network will be at majority of the training camps. So ours will be on Saturday. And the good thing about it is we have former Cowboys wide receiver, Dallas Cowboys radio media personality, and NFL Network personality Isaiah Stanback. So he will be reporting live with Colleen Wolfe, who is an Eagles fan, as a matter of fact.
They're trying to mix it up on us, huh?
Yeah. So normally they will have like a Cowboys rep there, because Michael Irvin used to do it a lot when he was with the NFL Network. So he'll be there reporting live. from the Cowboys training camp.
Yeah, Vondale, last comment before we get out of here today. Thank you for sharing that, KELZ. Yeah, getting back together, football this weekend. It is all in. Vondale says, I don't think the starting running back is on the team yet. He must have been listening to my guy West Coast on the broadcast last night because he shared that too as well. Is that a possibility? Have we not seen the RB1? Is he not on this team yet, KELZ? Or
I
is
think he is on the team.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm disappointed that it's going to be like this. But this is going to be a running back by committee.
Yeah, one week we could see Deuce Vaughn line up against this team. The next week we could see Jaden Blue line up against this team. Next week we could see Phil Maffa. The next week we could see, whichever 4 running backs are going to make that. And we will have our.
But I do know Miles Sanders is going to be activated for that Eagles game because this is personal.
Oh, it's a revenge tour. I'm all for it too. If it's a no-brainer. If I'm the coach, I'm like, you're gonna put the guy that's gonna go against your old team, especially after what's been reported around the media, him saying basically more or less it's personal when I line up against them this Thursday Night Football. So I hope it's going to be Miles Sanders. I would bet money on it. It'd be Miles Sanders.
And it might be personal for Paris Campbell too, because I think he came off of that Super
Very
Bowl.
good. Very good point. Paris Campbell was signed from the Philadelphia Eagles too. So a couple bird brains we got now that are them boys opening up on Thursday Night Football. But we'll have more on 53-man roster. We'll have more on the padded practice coming up this Sunday. We appreciate everybody tuning in on all 3 platforms here today, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. This has been a recap of day 1 at Oxnard for training camp. Like I said, I will be there August 4th and 5th. If you're going to be there, pull up on your boy. Let's get down. It's going to be the Rams versus Cowboys on that scrimmage on the 5th. I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be doing what.
I agree with you, Sterling. I do agree with you on that. I mean, I'm not a running back by committee. I don't like anything by committee. But because there's no blueprint, there's no film on what this shoddy era offense going to look, it could work in our favor.
Very much could. So make sure you stay tuned because we're going to have it here. I'm BG. That's my girl KELZ. This has been a Taco Tuesday. What you like, hard? Soft or crunchy tacos? Which do you prefer?
It depends. If I do a steak or if you do steak or shrimp tacos, you have to use the salt.
I'm with you. All right. Soft steak tacos. Yeah, I can see that. So you like the crunchy beef tacos then? Is that what you're saying? The crunchy ground beef tacos?
Yeah, but I'm more of a steak and shrimp taco.
Oh, girl. Surf and turf. That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate you tapping in, y'all. We appreciate y'all tapping in. If you watch this after the fact, make sure you use #replay. This will be the first of many episodes of me and my girl KELZ during this training camp and preseason. And we look forward to having y'all here on every show. We hope that y'all learn something new. Any parting words before we get out of here today, KELZ?
Just have a good night.
We'll see y'all in the gym, baby, on the next episode.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night, the party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.